calling me, stressing me, paging my beat, but you're just non-stop. And it's not hot that you be leaving me messages every 10 minutes and then you stop by. When I first met you, you were cool, but it was game, you had me fooled. Cause 20 minutes after I gave you my number, you already had my milk box full. So what? I got a better but now I guess you think I
cute with my Batman mask and my jammies. Oh, where we going? Over. Hi. We got the goods. Look at him. That's what's important. What's right in there. Say what's up to the blog. 9.
It's not hot that you be calling me, stressing me, paging my beat, but you're just non-stop. And it's not hot that you be leaving me messages every 10 minutes and then you stop by. When I first met you, you were cool, but it was game, you had me fooled. Cause 20 minutes after I gave you my number, you already had my milk box full. So what? I got a better but now I guess you think I owe you. You don't have to call as much as you do. I give them back to be true with you. And so what? It's not hot that you be calling me, stressing me, paging my beat, but you're just non-stop. And it's not hot that you be leaving me messages every 10 minutes and then you stop by. When I first met you, you were cool, but it was game, you had me fooled. Cause 20 minutes after.
Should men show emotions, is what they were saying.
Oh, okay. Should men show emotion? Yes, I think it is very important for a man that I am dating to show his emotions, because it's only natural. So if you don't show me how you feel, how am I supposed to know? Because if 9 times out of 10, if you don't physically show like your emotions, then you're also not communicating them. So then I'm spending my time, spinning my wheels, trying to figure out what it is that you're feeling and what it is that you're thinking. And then at some point, I would feel like I'm walking on eggshells. And that's a waste of time, I feel like. Because I'm not an overly emotional person myself. I'm not trying to be in a relationship with an overly emotional man who's crying all the time about everything that happens in fucking life. But I want you to show some type of emotion, because if you don't, then I'm constantly having to figure out what the hell it is that you're thinking. I mean, if we are in an actual relationship, then it's important for you to show your emotions, because if you can't show them to me, then why are we together? Like, that's the point of actually being with somebody that you actually love and trust, because it's a safe space. So if you don't feel as though I'm a safe space for you, then I feel like that's a problem off top.
I agree. I think it honestly boils down to who you end up with, and I think it's important because everything now is so based off of I'm gonna decide how to move based on what you do. So everything is whatever energy you giving me, that's what energy I'm giving you.
Yeah, but then I'm not even giving real energy, because what I'm giving is based off what you giving. It's not actually what I feel. Like, it's not what I truly want to
which is what I'm saying, and which is why I think people should just be who they are. Stop trying to move off of the way that I'm moving. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just be who you are.
Stop trying to see what I'm doing before you decide
that you want to be mad or that you want to, all right, well, he ain't do this, so I'm not going to do this. And then it'll be a safe space for emotion. You'll get more of the real person. Me more so, I'm going to keep the peace, motherfucker. Like, so most of the time, if I do have an issue, a lot of times I won't say to anybody to keep the peace because I don't like drama. So I'll withhold what I'm saying, which is, I'm not saying it's right, but I'll withhold the way I be feeling just to keep the peace because I want to keep the peace.
Okay, but when you then reach your boiling point, are you gonna bring up all that other stuff that you didn't kept your peace about?
Yeah, I'm one of them motherfuckers.
So why you want to talk about all of that now instead of whatever the issue is that has you at your boiling point?
Because you started pushing me to the edge. Because you started pushing me to the motherfucking edge, and it's time.
It's time to talk about it.
It's time to talk about it. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I'm the peacemaker. Like, I don't believe in going to bed mad. It's because I know when you get me to that point, I'm petty. I'm King Petty.
So why do you let yourself get to petty?
Because you keep pushing me. It's like you fucking with me. And why do you want to fuck with somebody who's making the peace?
Yeah.
But that's the thing that I think with women, it may not be with all women, but women have these things in the man's world that's called shit test. And you shit test me to see what kind of reaction you're going to get out of me. And you may not want, it may not be no real, like, actual issue, but you just want to see how I react. You want to, because I'm a normally calm individual, you just want to see what kind of reaction that's going to bring. Or you want to know, I want to see if he cares. So let me do this to see what he going to do. Does that make any sense?
It makes perfect sense, but I guess I automatically shake my head because there's nothing that I have ever done, nor do I see a reason in trying to like see what point can I push you to? Like, what does it take to actually piss you off?
some people are psychos and they have to do that because they think that makes them know how much you love them.
That has nothing to do with how much you love her.
I totally agree, but it's like, let me see how much he fuck with me.
Because I want to see how mad I can make him or how long it take him to get mad.
Right, because some people don't, it's like that same situation when motherfuckers be whooping motherfuckers' ass.
He beat me because he love me?
They don't, right, it's that type of shit. That nigga don't love me if he ain't mad. If he don't get mad behind, some shit, or he ain't emotional about some shit. I can't get him in emotions. He don't love me.
I'll never understand that, Lord.
And I'm not saying that's all women, but it's out there. It's definitely out there. That's why I say it's crazy, like, in the dating world, because there's so many different variations of people. You have to know who you're dealing with.
I think it's more important to know who you are. It's more important to know who you are and what it is and what you will not accept and or deal with. In addition to, you also have to know your own breaking points. Like, I'm a person, I feel like in a relationship, I'm pretty much the same. I'm kind of like you. I'm gonna keep the peace type person because I'm not argumentative. Like, I'm not gonna argue with you. Like, some stuff, I'm going to voice my opinion on it, but I'm not going to repeat myself. And I'm not going to argue with you about it. So when I tell you how I feel about it, it can be a whole out conversation. but I'm not one of the people that's gonna argue with you. Like, I stated how I feel. I stated what my side is on whatever this issue is. But if you want to turn it into an actual argument, a fight, I'm gonna blink my eyelashes at you, because to me, that is pointless. And in the past, in relationships, that drives a man insane, because if it's an actual argument, and I guess it may just be the men that I have dealt with, it's an argument. Like, I've stated my side, and now they stated their side. But now that they done stated their side, they're waiting for a rebuttal. Like, you want me to go back and forth with you because at some point you want your point to be the okay. It's not gonna be the okay. Like, I still feel the way that I feel, and nothing that you just said is gonna make me change my mind. But I'm not gonna argue with you about it, because all we're gonna do is go round and round on this issue, and we just gonna have to agree to agree. And the majority of the men in the past, that's an issue, because it's like, oh, you don't even care. No, I care, but I'm still not. What am I gonna keep arguing with you for? For nothing. We are wasting fucking time. We just gonna have to agree to agree, or you just gonna be like, all right, I see this shit fucking annoys the hell out of her, so let me try not to.
I agree with that. I'm pretty much like that. Tying back into what the guy was saying about holding a frame, I can kind of identify with that, because I'm one of them people, like, I don't like to be knocked off a center. Like, I feel like I'm not an overly emotional type person. And me, like, I take time before I actually give a response, even though I probably got a response right then. But me, I like to choose my words carefully, because I know, being a Gemini, a lot of people can't handle the words that will come at that exact moment. So me, I guess that's why I say I can identify with that. You know, really, when shit is coming at you, you're not really fazed by it. You take some time and you actually evaluate it and then come back with your response.
Well, once again, that may be why we get along so well as siblings, because as he just said, Gemini, we have a Scorpio here. I do the same thing. When I bring the issue to the table, not when he brings it, when I decide to bring it, I done already sat back, I done took my time, I done thought about it, because I know if I don't have a conversation with self about how I feel, and then take time out to think about why, and yeah, basically like why is this his thought process? You know what I'm saying? And try to see it from his side of view. If I think about it in the heat of the moment, it's what I have to say is not going to be productive. It's not. It's not going to be productive.
Not going to be productive.
It's not. Like, it's not going to help us in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Because what it's going to do is it's going to be point blank how I feel, and it's going to piss you off and insult you all in the same statement. And It's going to be very few words.
Right.
So there, in addition to, I know this about myself. I can be very stubborn. So if I didn't said it, I meant it, and I ain't taking it back.
Right.
And that's not healthy. I'm aware.
I'm one of them people too.
I should work on myself in 2021. But if I said it, I meant it.
Right.
Therefore, I'm not going to take it back. So I have learned it's not always healthy to say what I feel and what I think in the moment. So it's always best to leave me alone and just let me process some stuff, because what I'm feeling in the moment, it may not be right.
Well, that became an issue in my last situation, because it was like, you never have a response. I'm bringing these issues and you never have a fucking response. It takes you forever to process and you don't have a response.
I do have one. It's just not healthy right now. So give me a minute.
Hey!
Give me a minute
And
and
look,
let me process it.
at the nigga that I like to keep the peace, so I just be like, I'm trying to process. I'm still processing, right? You know. And I would just take my time and, you know, wade through the waters and, you know, I don't know. I think it's crazy how just like it's so many different variations of people and so many point of views and, you know, just the way people think in general. Everybody. I think it's very fascinating.
It's very fascinating to try to put yourself in another person's shoes and try to evaluate why their thought process is the way that it is.
Right.
Knowing what your own thought process is. I think that says a lot about a person when you're dating someone. If you actually try and put yourself in their shoes and evaluate why they think the way they think, instead of just going off like what you feel and what you know and how you have decided like this is who I am. So
well, maybe that's a handicap of mine because that's exactly who I am. I only know how to go from my point of view. So I listen to what you have to say and then try to give a response based on my own personal experiences or my point of view or what I think. And like, I don't have a problem, like, you know, let's just agree to disagree. You know what I mean? Like, you feel that way, I feel this way, okay. I'm willing to make a compromise on it, like, let's make a compromise. But
how often is it that the other person wants to make a compromise? Because most people want a point to be heard, and they want to feel that you understand that
right.
This is the reason why.
But that's what I'm saying. I guess it's a fault because I'm willing to compromise. So I think in a relationship, it's for it to work, it gotta be compromised because it's two motherfuckers coming together to try to live one life.
So do you feel that it's always like, one of my friends said, you know, whatever their rule is, I think it's like the 80-20 or the 70-30 or something like that. But it's basically one person is always giving more than the other. One person is always having to do more because that one person is like, somebody in the relationship is going to have to be more accepting of the other person's faults.
What's the question?
Do you believe that? Do you feel like in a relationship, one person is going to have to take more shit from the other one just because the other one may be a little messed up? Like, even if that person's like messed up because of like their childhood, their upbringing, previous relationships, but like you and this person are in a committed relationship, like you truly feel this person loves you, but you just gonna have to take more shit or arguments, or like just have to just take one for the team in order to keep the peace and keep the relationship going, because that person is just a little bit more broken than you are.
I think that's probably accurate, but the whole entire relationship can't be that. The whole entire relationship can't be that. Like, okay, I get it. Emotionally, you may need a little bit more from me than from you, but the whole fucking relationship can't be one person is 80 and the other person 20 or 40. You know what I mean? It can't be that. It ain't gonna ever work because a motherfucker gonna get tired. At some point, a motherfucker gonna get tired, and once a motherfucker tired, they ain't got nothing left. They ain't got nothing left, and a motherfucker that ain't got nothing left and ain't got nothing to lose, that's a dangerous motherfucker. So, which is why I say you gotta be with somebody who is willing to compromise. I feel like that's a red flag when y'all get in a situation and y'all dating, and in the beginning, if they not willing to compromise on small shit in the beginning, when y'all get to that big shit, they not gonna compromise. And I think that's I think that is a classified as a selfish person. Those are signs of selfish motherfuckers. They can't compromise.
I agree.
All that. Selfish people are still clear. Cause I'm a person that I feel like the sun rise and set on me, and but as a grown adult, you have to realize that I realize in real life it really don't. But you know what I mean. You got to get with somebody who can roll with that with you. Like you know what I mean. Like I refuse to be in a situation where I'm getting with somebody who say, "Oh, I'm the prize." Now, we both the prize.
Key.
Yeah, we both the prize.
Key. I totally agree. You cannot feel you are the prize.
Right.
And I feel like I'm the prize, but I want to be with a man who also feels like I want to be his prize and I need him to be my prize.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So that's why I say that kind of eradicates that whole 80-20. When you think like that eradicates that whole 80-20 shit. Like, you know what I mean? We gotta both be here. And I think what it is so many people who are who not willing to spend the time to find those type of people. So people end up selling and they're not happy. People who think on that frequency right there, I think it's slim. It's a very slim percentage of those type of people in the world who are able to function and live in that. Like, I need somebody who we're equally yoked. And people just settle. Yeah. They settle for what's good. A motherfucker might have a few good qualities or whatever, and life happens, they look around and get pregnant or, get in trouble financially and the other person's doing good and life happens and they just end up being together. Instead of people like,
Them entanglements happen.
Entanglements, that's the word, right. That happens and motherfucker gets stuck and then they just have to live there.
This same show, I'm gonna see if I can find the clip so me and you can watch it. But the same dude, Guapo, he says messed up people find other messed up people and they get in, he said the F word, but they get in these messed up relationships that turn in these messed up relationships and then they have these messed up kids and then the cycle just continues.
Right, because they birthed a child who was born into an unhappy situation, or a broken home where they not together, and they see that shit growing up, and they turn out to be just like them motherfuckers in that adult world. And that's what, coming from the life that we came from, and moving to Houston, and meeting all these broken people with self-esteem issues, they grew up in one-parent households and, just don't know what a relationship look like. That's the majority of people.
8, the number 8 at the table. Killer Convos, if you guys are interested, on YouTube. 8 at the table.
Of who he really is. Talk to your men. Tell them to show who they are in the beginning, that they that jealous nigga.
So go to places where these type of people are that you want to deal with. Go out to eat, sit at bars, have conversations, interact with people. Same shit we been saying.
I mean, well, now that we in a fucking pandemic, that's basically like you just said. If it's not social media, or you gonna meet somebody, unless you live somewhere like Houston or Atlanta where they just wide open, but then you still out in the same social settings where most people who are out in these settings aren't looking for real people to like actually date. They're looking for entertainment.
So everybody wants entertainment. I don't think that's true. I don't think everybody wants entertainment.
I don't think everybody wants entertainment, but that's what it seems like when you go out and you actually do meet somebody that you're meeting. Most people are meeting the wrong type of person. You're not meeting somebody that you're actually compatible with, because 9 times out of 10, they out because they are like, not necessarily out because they out to have a good time, but most of those people aren't like serious daters.
Right.
When you actually line up the amount of people that you did actually met outside, how many of them were actual, like, interested in serious dating? Most of them are not. Because the ones who are there that are serious daters are somewhere in a corner not talking to no damn body.
I guess you got a point with that, yeah. That makes sense. That's kind of deep. When you
Yeah,
think
but at
about
the
all
same
people
time,
you
it's
done met,
annoying.
all the people you done met, like who is seriously, who would be a serious dater? Is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Slim to none.
exactly. Slim to none. Because I can think about the handful of people that I actually met and like exchanged numbers with before I stopped going outside. None of them want to really date, hang out, spend time. They wanted me for sex because they were physically attracted to me. And when you meet people, that's like the only thing that you have to go off of, what your physical attraction is. And when you have no interest in actually seriously dating, at some point you're going to get around to the point, like the reason why you actually wanted to talk to this person. And then if you somebody like me who
So
actually,
is that a point? Did they say that?
say what?
Did they just want to sex?
One of them did actually say that, but it's subtle, but it's not subtle. Like, one guy in particular, we went on like 3 dates, and after the 3rd date, we came back over here, we hung out, we had drinks, we smoked hookah, and then we were going to go eat. And he picked the restaurant, and I said, I'm gonna drive. That way, you don't have to bring me all the way back to my side of town when we finish with dinner. And do you know, he called me, he left like 5 minutes before I did, and he didn't call me, he texted me, and he said that he had to go and help his friend who had a flat on the interstate.
Nah.
He said he had to go and help his friend.
My nigga had a flat. I got to
Yes,
go.
he had to go help his friend who had a flat on the interstate, and he was sorry that he couldn't meet me for dinner, but he would make it up. I ain't heard from him since. But you know why? Because that particular day when we was over here, you kept trying to kiss on me, and I didn't like. I'm not there yet. Like, I don't want to just sit on the couch and kiss you, but you want to do that because you want it to lead to other things. And by this time, you're tired. We didn't went on these dates. I ain't gave you none, and now you tired. You had no interest in actually spending time and getting to know me, or I was moving too slow. Maybe if I had sex with you, then you would have continued those things. But the point is, you wanted some vagina, because I ain't heard from you since then. Literally, no call, no text, nothing. So now explain to me. What was that?
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably was a mixture of things.
Such as, help me out.
Like you said, you just want vagina, but then the fact of you feel like, oh, well, she must ain't feeling me like that. You know what I mean?
Why would you assume I'm not feeling you? Are you saying he was saying I wasn't physically attracted to him?
Possibly, because some people move faster than that. Some women move fast. Like, I was reading this thread on that group that I told you I'm in, the black degree
Wait a minute, you
millennials.
gotta tell the people, maybe they wanna join the Facebook group.
It's called Black and Single Millennial and Degreed on Facebook.
If you're interested.
But in there, they was talking about basically how soon do you kiss somebody or something like that. And like the comments are all mixed. Some people like, if I ain't kissing you on the first date, like I ain't fucking with you after that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's different. Everybody's different.
And that's just it. It's not that we had not kissed. We have kissed. Now have we sat and made out? No. I wasn't that comfortable. Like, I was just now getting comfortable enough that I don't let you come to my house.
Right. So basically the nigga that make you comfortable.
No, he didn't make me. He made, you know what? Him doing that made me uncomfortable. Because had he not been so sexually aggressive that day, I may would have gave him some. But doing that makes me not want to freaking do it.
Right.
And then when you went and done that, like, it makes me feel good that I didn't give it to you, because if I'd have gave it to you, then what were you gonna do?
It's a gamble.
Exactly.
Dating is a gamble. It's a gamble. Everything is a gamble. Have you seen the movie Acrimony? With Taraji P, where she what's your thoughts on that movie?
I'm trying to remember.
And you know, after she done been through so much of giving him money for his dream and stuff like that, she tired of it. Her sisters and them are against it. They want her to leave him and stuff like that. So she say, I'm done with you. I'm tired of your lying, you cheat.
And then it comes through and he get all this money for the invention.
Correct. And
he start a new life with that woman.
With the woman. But he goes back to her first, gives her a check for $10 million, buys her mama house back, and basically saying, hey, you know, I still love you, you know what I mean? I'm always gonna love you, woo, this and that. I just wanted to give you this, you know, for all the shit that I've done and put you through, and I appreciate you sticking by me as long as you did, woo, this and that. I bring this up because me and Q was talking about it last night. He had never seen the movie. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, nigga, we gotta watch the movie. So we sat and watched the movie. And afterwards, I was like, I wonder, is it any women like that have like reviews on this movie on YouTube? So I went to YouTube and it's like women that agree with like her. Like one made a point of she wasn't wrong, you know, she was there for all those years, 20-something years, and the first time he get turned down or something like that, she said, and then he's okay to walk away, like he can walk away. He should have fought harder for her in it.
Now that you just gave me the synopsis, it is all coming back to me. I feel like, if I remember it correctly, she was justified in the way that she felt, but...
Why?
She was justified in feeling hurt and upset and now wanting the life that he had promised her after all of these years, because y'all have been together for all of these years. Like, this is the life that the two of you have been wanting. But I feel like it shouldn't have went to that extreme, because at the end of the day, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Like, it's unfair and it's unfortunate that your fairy tale didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out, but she had ended their relationship for a reason. Like, you did not take him back when he came back and he tried to fix everything, or when he wanted to fix it, because you were tired. You did that for a reason.
Wow.
So therefore, just because now that he's turned into this Prince Charming doesn't mean that anything is going to be different, because you were miserable the entire fucking time.
Wow.
So, yeah, like, she justified. You spent all these years with this man and you went through all of this struggle. You have the right to be upset and scorned and feelings hurt and jealous that now he done moved on with another woman and she's living her best life with this man that you were trying to live your best life with, and you didn't carry him this far. She was justified in the way that she felt. She isn't justified in the actions that she took. That's because she lost her mind and went freaking crazy. But yeah, like, that's a lot of hurt to know that you didn't carry a person for years, and you helped. Like, without you, they probably wouldn't even be where they are. So yeah, to a certain extent, like, there were dues that needed to be paid, but he did that because he paid you. He gave you the money for you to go ahead and live your best life now, because you ended it because you didn't want him. It wasn't because of his money, because he was broke all this time, so you still was going to be with him. You ended it because you were unhappy.
Right, but at the end of the day, she wanted the divorce. She didn't want him.
That's what I'm saying. You ended it because you didn't want him no more.
And he tried, so you didn't want him. So why is it that it's okay for you to be upset when you made the choice? You didn't want me.
She was regretful. People regret shit all the time.
Well, that's part of life. That don't mean that you were justified. I don't see it being justified.
You can't justify, I guess in a way you can't justify feelings, because you can't help the way that you feel the way you feel. But I feel like it was inevitable. If you spend all that time with a person and you have dreams with this person, and then your relationship don't work out, and then everything that you and this person dreamed and talked about, now that person is living it with somebody else, there's no way you can just off the bat be happy for them or be okay for them. You are going to automatically be upset and angry, because this was the life that we built. This is the life that we talked about, but you living it with somebody else now. What other emotion can you have? It ain't gonna be happy for
I think it's fine to have an emotion about it, but you keep that to yourself and deal with what choices that you made.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying what she did in the movie was justified. I'm saying the way that she felt was justified, not her actions, not all that crazy stuff that she went and done.
Right.
But she had her right to feel the way that she felt, but she should have had a healthier way to process it. Because you should not put your all into this person and feel like your life doesn't exist because you don't have this person. That's where it goes and where it's unhealthy, because you are no longer with this person. You no longer have a life. You can start over. You can be first off, you got to start off with yourself, because clearly you already got some issues.
Definitely.
And have random conversations, and it's all about like real life social issues amongst like people our age, and it's interesting to hear their different point of views on stuff. What do you think?
I don't have kids.
But that's what the conversation was about. You don't have to have kids, But what do you feel?
I think that you should meet them. I think you should meet them.
Okay, wait. For purposes of YouTube, the question is, what is your opinion on meeting the parent of the child that you're dating? If you decided to seriously date someone, do you want to meet the father or mother of the child? And or if you are the mother of the father, how important is it for you, for your new mate, to meet the mother or father of your child? Now, what is your opinion for a young man who does not have children and decide to seriously date a woman who has children or a child?
I think I side with the guy on that you should want to meet the baby's father. Like they were saying, I think all of them have valid points on that. I think it's gonna kind of tell you like what their relationship is like to see if they actually over each other. If it's like over and they just strictly dealing with the kids, and then like as far as just the respect thing, because that's somebody that you're gonna have to see. That's somebody that's gonna be in passing, that's gonna be coming to pick the kids up, or you know, y'all might have to interact one day. Well, I gotta drop this kid off to you, you know, or so it's gonna be some kind of interactions. So I think it's smart to meet them and know who they are.
Me too. I agree. I feel like it's important to meet the parent of the person that you are deciding to date, because if I'm dating him and he's seriously involved with his child, then at some point, like, me, him, and the kid are going to have to interact. So for me, I don't want the mom to be feeling awkward and not knowing who her child is around, and or be concerned about whether I'm a safe person or gonna have some type of negative influence on their kid.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very important for me to just see the interaction of him with her, and not even necessarily saying in person. Like, before I ever even meet her, I would love to see their interaction, like the other girl said, like on the phone. Like, how do you talk to her
Right.
on the phone when she calls? Like, what type of comments do you actually have to say about her before I ever even meet her?
Right.
Just to see how you handle your baby mama.
Right. I agree.
Yo, I'm telling you, like, I have never had an issue. Before I was married, when I was single, I never had an issue with catching a man. And all the men were the same. They had money, they had a career, they played ball. They, you know, literally other women wanted them. So when they were spending their time with me, begging me to be their girlfriend, asking me, yo, what do you think about marriage? This, that, and the other. Like, they're investing in me. They're showing me that I'm the type of woman that they want. So from that, it shows me those are the types of men that I command. Those are the types of men that I need to be looking for. And don't deal with these dust bunnies.
I mean,
Like
look,
everybody else.
So
in
Paula,
the world.
please, Paula. So, in this, back to the conversation that we had about average people. So, none of that sounds average.
It's not.
But what people don't fail to realize that only 10% of, I don't know if it's just black men or men in the world, make above $100,000 a year legally.
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 Keywords.
So it's that's only 10% of men. So this what she's explaining about the nigga with money, the nigga with a career, the ball player, this and that. That's only a small percentage of men.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that who everybody wants?
No, that's not who everyone wants. Okay, so quick background check. Rod and I, a little while ago, had a discussion. It was off camera. Sorry. But it was basically about the negative connotation which people seem to give to average these days. Like, people tend to feel like if you say, if you judge yourself and or your mate as average, that average is a negative connotation. I said, well, we both kind of agreed that average is basically normal, but just due to people feeling like you need to like oversell yourself, that means you are above average if you have clearly figured out how to oversell yourself. Like, you have this outrageous income, you live this movie star like lifestyle, then you are above average. But to me, average basically means normal. Normal is the majority of the world. The majority of the world does not make a six-figure income. The majority of which is normal. The majority of the world is not someone who's viewed as like overly gorgeous or this model type, handsome type male. You're normal, which is average. But people tend to make average seem as like if it's negative, like don't nobody want average.
Yeah, because that seems like per social media and what we see, that's the narrative. That's what everybody is, woman-wise, that's what everybody's going after.
Me personally, I'm not seeking a man that makes six figures. Like, I'm not trying to see that your bank account has six figures in it. What I want is for you to have some type of career or trade that has allowed you to provide yourself with a comfortable lifestyle, that you are not hurting, you are not wanting, you are not needing and or borrowing in order to maintain your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, your lifestyle does need to coincide with mine, because when I come into this lifestyle, I'm not going to, the only word I know to use is I'm not going to downgrade who I am. I'm not going to stop liking the things that I like.
Right.
And as a child, Barbara and Rodney will tell you, my mom and daddy, my daddy said this to me a long time ago. You're gonna need to end up with a man that makes good money because you like nice things. But I've been like that as a child, and as a child, not even knowing what nice things were, I just always liked what I liked. Right. And then as an adult female, I have an income that allows me to pay for the nice things that I like. So I cannot be with someone who cannot go and buy me something nice that happens to be designer if it's a gift that he wants to actually buy for me. Right. These aren't things that I expect on like a daily basis or like every holiday or like every birthday or like random. It doesn't always need to cost a lot of money, but I don't need him trying to figure out how he gonna buy me a Gucci belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need that to be out of his price range. I don't need him to be trying to decide how he gonna pay for that and pay his light bill. But I don't want you, I don't even.
I'm just trying to figure it out because that's what the masses are saying. The nigga ain't making six figures. He ain't got a blue check. He ain't this. They ain't fucking with him.
Yeah, but are you doing that for yourself? Like, are you saying this because these are the things that you like, so therefore you need somebody else to buy it for you because you can't do it for yourself? Or are you, like you just said, are you needing someone that's equally yoked. Like, we just happen to like the same things, and we are both at a place in our lives where we can comfortably afford them.
I think it's the first one. I think it's the first one.
You can't buy it for yourself, so you need it.
Ain't got it, and they need a motherfucker that can go get it for them.
Okay, well then that's a totally different thing. But then it goes back to what old Kevin Samuel says. He basically says like an even trade. I mean, if you are physically attractive and whatever those is like three, like attractive, fit, cooperative,
feminine.
Yes, if you are these things, and then you meet a man who has these 6 figures, then it's an even trade, because he gets the benefit off of your physical looks, and then you get to benefit off of his bank account. So
I guess.
But for the man who doesn't make 6 figures, I don't feel like he should feel like he's less of a man just because he don't make 6 figures. He could not make 6 figures and be living comfortably, like not needing to owe nobody. All of his bills are paid. He ain't having to ask nobody to help him pay them bills.
So
he ain't got to take out no loans.
So put yourself in a man's position like that, and the masses are screaming, "I need this high value man." What do you go for? What like, how do you guide through that?
I feel like that's something that you should be able to tell early in the dating process. Like, you should be able to tell, because I feel like the women, the masses that are requiring that or screaming that, then it's something that they are going to ask of you, or it's something that you should be able to tell in the beginning, because she gonna try you, because she trying to see what your bank account look like. So if you know that that's not something you can uphold, why the hell would you want to continue with that? Because you already know you don't have that type of money.
Nigga, I'm finna make me an Instagram post and be like, not a 6-figure nigga, but I'm alright, caring, loving, looking for this. Fuck with me.
Do it right now.
Fuck with me.
Please do it right now so we can see what type of responses that we get. Because I guarantee you, I honestly don't think that that's the masses. I think it's what social media makes them feel like they need. However, most of them are realistic, because the majority of them, like you just said, they ain't making that type of money. So unless you that 1% that happen to grab a motherfucker that's making that type of money, you ain't never gonna live that lifestyle.
Right.
So when you actually meet an average man, which average is normal, who's living a comfortable, happy, good lifestyle, you could actually settle down with him and have a good life. And if they met the right one, they would be happy. But they don't see that, because social media tells them that they need to try and overexert themselves. When you break up with someone, you shouldn't continue to date the same type of person, because you broke up with this person for a reason. So why would you continue to date the same type of person?
There's people stuck in their box. They can't get outside the box. That's what they're comfortable with.
But how do you expect a different outcome if you keep doing the same thing?
I agree. I'm on your side. Shit, I agree.
I'm gonna be on camera and say it. Men do use they females as validation, but at least men want a whole person. Y'all use a pocketbook for validation.
What is the difference? What is the difference? What is the difference in a woman wanting a man with a nice bank account versus a man who only wants this woman because she is physically attractive and she looks good on his arm. And she looks good on his arm, and he knows every other man wants her because she's the baddest one in the room. What is the difference?
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Thank
Really. It's not really a difference. It's based off how people value things. Men value the physical, women value the financial. It's just a trade-off.
So then it's a toxic circle.
So where we living in, guys?
It's rough out here in this dating field. Please feel free, especially all of my married people, please comment. Help the siblings out. Help us. Help us.
Facts.
All right, guys, this concludes the end of this vlog. Please, if you have made it this far, do not forget to hit that little like button, hit the subscribe button, and please leave me a comment. Like, I'm all about the communication. You can also see my social media handles down below, but more importantly, subscribe and then comment. I promise you, if you have a question, you have a comment, we will actually address it in a later vlog if you want to continue the convo. And that's kind of what I want my channel to be about. Like, I want it to be an open dialogue, because trust me, like, help me, as I keep telling y'all. Like, I'm here to learn. I need advice, I need tidbits, I need all the tricks. If I need to get a notepad, because you got lots, like, you got lots of info that you want to share. Not only share with me, but share it with the rest of the YouTube fam. But once again, thank you for following along, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.